I'm getting a lot of comments saying that I didn't know the situation. I should have just ignored it and kept going. I had no business interfering. I messed things up for these people that I don't know and all this. Here's the thing. If you're arguing with somebody and you decide to walk away and they refuse to let you walk away, that's a problem. Okay? They were outdoors on a sidewalk having this argument, and she was trying to walk away from him. Whether it was forever or just for a little while so she could calm down or talk to somebody, whatever she needed at that moment, he was physically preventing her from walking away from an altercation that was making her feel unsafe. I gave him multiple chances to allow her to walk away. I told him all she wants to do is continue walking down this sidewalk, and I'm not going to leave until I'm sure that she can safely do that. She's a grown woman attempting to walk down a sidewalk. There is no reason that some man should be interfering with that. Whether it's her husband or not, he does not own her. They lived in the same house. They had children together. Likely, had he allowed her to walk away, she would have come back a few hours later feeling slightly better. But because he refused to allow her to calm down, he got put in handcuffs. I told him all he had to do was let her walk away. He would not. He did not leave us so that she could go until he heard the police sirens. And then he decided to go and get the children and bring them to defend him. My mom and dad used to do the same thing. When I was real little, when they started fighting, they would wake us up at 3 in the morning and sit us on the couch and tell us to watch. You watch, so that when the police come, you can tell them who threw the first punch. Because that matters. It matters to have a witness, even if that witness is only 5 years old. Because they don't both want to go to jail, and they can't both walk away. And they can't let one of them walk away. It's garbage. I had my phone in my hand. For at least 5 minutes, I tried to talk them down. I gave him every chance in the world to just walk across the street and go be with his children. He refused. I do not feel bad for the fact that he got sent to jail. All he had to do was go take care of his children. And he would not be sitting in jail right now. And I know some of you are going to be saying, well, she could have gone and took care of the children. They needed to separate at that moment. One of them needed to go and take care of the children while the other went and calmed down. They didn't want to do that. He didn't want to let her go. He didn't want to let the fight go. And now he's in jail. And hopefully, she will leave him. But it's very unlikely. Because they have children together. And those children love their father, obviously. My sisters loved their father. It doesn't matter how abusive the parent is, your child is most likely going to love it. It is not an excuse. If you're in an argument with somebody and you feel like the best situation is to walk away and they won't allow you to walk away, then what else can you do but call the police? And I know some of you are saying, well, it's not abusive to just hold somebody and not let them leave. It absolutely is. Grown woman has the right to walk down a sidewalk if she wants. If you're stopping her, you're committing a crime. You're holding another human being captive, if nothing else, impeding their movement. Even the police can't impede your freedom of movement unless they have a reason to. I don't feel bad for it. I feel bad for her and for her children. But you people are not going to guilt me when I know that I gave him the chance to just go away and go be with his kids and not be in jail this weekend. And if I've had boyfriends in the past who would refuse to let me leave when I got upset. And thankfully that there was somebody that stood up for me in that situation. Because when my boyfriend told me that I was to stay in that room and not move until he got back, his uncle heard those words come out of his mouth and told him that he was not going to hold a woman captive in his home just because that woman was upset and wanting to leave him. You don't get to do that to somebody. Just because you're upset and you don't want them to go away, you don't get to forcibly hold them someplace. That's not what freedom is. That's not what being married is. Even if you're married to somebody, you do not own them to the point that you can control what they do and where they go every second. You may think you do. That's not what marriage is. God has not given you the power to have that control over another human being just because he oversaw your wedding.